House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
All right, House to Home is back once again. Now, if you remember last week, we were talking with Joe Borja, the esteemed director of the Department of Land Management. He is here once again to stand in front of what would be the I don't want to use the word firing line, but the very, let's say the very industrialist, inquisitive, the industrial inquisitive minds of Liz and Gina from Remax Diamond Realty. We're being silly, Joe. I mean, you guys work together all the time. There are some questions that they have and everything like that. It is a process, and given the tense nature of the world these days and everything like that, you know, things are a little weird and everything.
I never view questions from Liz and Gina as a firing line. I mostly use it as a, Joe, let me take your hand and let me guide you.
Well, that's a great way to start. Okay, and so Liz, you're up first. With that said.
So Joe, our concern is, for example, we have a pending project. We can't close transactions until GLUC meets to approve, for example, an HPR that was extended. So there's timelines with the banks to close the transaction, and they've held off. And we need GLUC in place. So I know that's not your purview, but we probably should, hound the legislature and the governor to do what they can to get things in place so that you can do your part in scheduling those hearings and get these projects approved. My concern is lots of money is held up, and from what I heard, millions for pending projects that are being tied up until such time GLUC can entertain them and move and make decisions on these projects. Is that correct?
That's correct. My job right now is to make sure that the support mechanism in the Department of Land Management is ready to proceed when the board, sets up that meeting. Once the board sets up that meeting, from the administration side, we have the 5 names. The 1 name is yet to be submitted. I think the governor will be doing that fairly soon. The 2 seats on the GLUC require a confirmation hearing. We're right at the perfect storm. We're right at the budget hearing, so the legislative focus is on the budget, and then of course right after the budget here in a month or so would be the election again on that. So for this year, beginning in February, it was kind of like a perfect storm. GLUC members term expiration March, April. We're still within that COVID thing. We got our numbers down, and then we're kind of like ready to open up. We were working with consultants to hopefully have some public hearings out there, but public hearing. Please.
So with the 4 members, would that constitute a quorum since they've already been appointed, and it's a matter of 2 of them being confirmed? If I heard you correctly.
It's a matter of 2 of them being confirmed, but some of the projects that are on the table are hybrid commission projects. So we need to make sure that the government part, or at least the GLUC part of those 5 members are in there, because that's critical for the number of votes for the approval process for those. So, so we just want to make sure that land management, the ministerial help, the support help is ready to do that once those members get on there. When will that happen? I really can't give you a time frame on that yet. And like I said, we have 2 members whose appointments are pending over the legislature. I was hopeful that maybe, you can't have it on a special session, but in any session, drag it along. And I've been at the legislature, so I know what that entails. You have the public hearing, the confirmation, you have to notice it, then you have the hearing, then the committee report, comes back, and then it goes to the Rules Committee, then you put it up on the floor. So that could be quite a lengthy process. And in this case, this year, from February to now, of course, the legislative process, as well as the administrative process, in this whole pandemic thing's kind of been held back. But yeah, from one consultant that I got, he showed me a list of projects that he had, and a lot of them were important, for the development of the island, workers' housing barracks, we have this problem with the H2 workers for construction, but before you can bring them in, you have to have housing. So a couple of those big projects, there were workers housing project, and that has a ripple effect, of course, on the economy. The other thing that's a delay.
Is there a particular senator that's handling the confirmation that we can all contact to say, hey, this is critical to our island?
Well, I think the three that you should concentrate lobbying, of course, is the speaker, the chairperson of the Committee on Rules, and of course our oversight chair. You know, so that would be Speaker Barnes, Senator Lee, and Senator Therese Terlahi. But you know, former boss of mine, I asked him, what's the best bill? And he says, the best bill is the one that has 8 votes.
It's a shame, Joe, that it boils down to politics.
I'm sorry?
I said it's a shame that it boils down to politics, because every single consumer out there feels their project is necessary and important.
Well, and I don't know that this thing really has any politics. I think it's just the process that we have. It's like I said, a gathering of perfect storm. It would have been good if, even if those members, the previous board, even if they would have stayed on board, you know, for at least 90 days and 3 legislative days, we would still have had a problem, you know, making decisions at that time because of,
You know, I have a quick question. You were mentioning about the public hearings. You know, so many private companies now have moved their forums into Zoom or one way or another.
Yeah.
Are doing meetings via the internet. Have you, or will GLUC look at that as an option so that the process can continue? Because I'm not hopeful that this thing is going to end unless we change leadership. I am not hopeful that we're going to be able to go back to doing things the way they were done before. So in light of that, is there a mechanism, or is there anybody looking at the option of doing these public hearings and putting the system, the process, into a digital form?
We've looked into that, Gina. We've had our legal counsel look into that. When you have these public hearings and municipal hearings, you know, the bottom line is that you provide the public with a safe forum to be able to provide their comments on it. And as you know, there have been a couple of big projects where the public notice factor was not handled correctly, and you know, those big projects, you know, went down the drain on there. We are looking at that, but even having the public hearings, never mind Zoom or never mind digital, you know, one could always claim that I really wanted to go to that public hearing, but I did not feel that it was a safe situation for me to go. And you know, like I said, that public hearing notice, man, if you don't handle that right, the project could collapse, an application could collapse if you don't do that, you know. But let me just give you an example of, you know, an issue also. And it's not necessarily these big companies. We also have a backlog of about 5 requests for zoning conformance. And these are, you know, situations where a family built an outside kitchen, put up a wall, and then they want to go into refinance, or they want to sell the property, and the bank or the appraiser saying you can't do that, you know. And we have about 5 of those cases on pending, you know, and these people are waiting for that sale. But unfortunately, this process of zoning conformance requires a field visit on it. You know, the planner has to go out there to take a look at those things. What we're doing right now is that in all these applications, really are required to submit a as-built sketch. So the planners, and we're still working, the planners are looking to see if they can do their inspection report based on a certified sketch by a registered land surveyor, and take the issues on there without having to go out and make your determination on that. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to be an automatic approval of your situation.
Hey, we got about a minute left, everybody. Sorry.
Yeah, but at least if we can do away with that field inspection and depend on that licensed certified surveyor that shows on his sketch what it is, we might be able to process that application. So we have those, and those are financial issues too, you know, maybe not $1 million and like that, but for these people, it's their biggest problem for today, you know.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes. I'm glad you're looking at that, Joe. That's really going to help a lot of consumers. Thank you.
Wow, Joe, you have made the great Gina happy. Both of them had some tough questions, but you know, I think you answered very honestly and very truthfully, and you know, we can't ask for any more than that.
For a short time until Gina next moves down to her next question on the list. Well, you know, I mean, let's put it out there, and you know, let's talk about it. You know, so I don't have any problem with that.
Well, Joe, now that Gina's got your address on Zoom and everything like that, God help you, because she's got like lots of questions and a lot of bandwidth.
They had my phone. They had my phone number since I was working at the legislature. So.
Exactly.
You have a lot of answers. That's why we're coming to you.
Exactly.
You can count on solutions.
Well, as do the both of you. So we really appreciate the time from Liz, from Joe, and from Gina. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe.
All right.
you.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
Take care, everyone.
House to Home, presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.